Crossword. Thank you, Crossword, for hosting us. There couldn't be a better venue to launch a book more than this spectacular bookstore. Only a yogi can appreciate other yogi and admire a yogi who has been in practice, not just practiced, mastered, not just mastered, evolved and accomplished. Such is the history and story of my brother Himanshu Mehta. No, we aren't born of the same mother, but we are born of the same Mother Earth, same Mother Universe, which is what creates a resonance between us. Himanshu doesn't fail to inspire me week after week. His group of 108 Surya Namaskars on Juhu Beach is so dedicated that week after week we see different groups joining in, and the sincere old group also keeps doing Surya Namaskars, postures in poetries, pranayama, om chanting, and so much so that they get the attention of the bystanders. The bystanders call him the Malkham man. Malkham man who not only climbs the Malkham, sits there in balance, but also becomes ulta, seedha, twisted. And if someone can do it, it is Himanshu Mehta. So Himanshu inspires Juhu a lot, and not just Juhu, now with his book and his recent videos of challenging Bollywood superstars, I was completely astounded and fascinated with the fact. Literally, it came to my realization that what real life heroes can do, real life heroes can't. I will not name the stars, but the stars he named in the challenge made me laugh a lot, smile a lot, and I admired his guts, because it really takes a sincere, honest attitude to stand up there and say that, look, come and try this. This challenge is not to ridicule people, but this challenge is to bring up the speed of aspiration and desires of the others that come and join me in my journey towards excellence in yoga, excellence in wellness and balance. So, I think people want to see him, how he looks like. He certainly looks like this hero who's just going to be launched by Karan Johar in his lovely jacket and his tight jeans and boots. Don't miss them out. So one can comfortably say that he is a yogi in purity, but very comfortable in the skin of the modern backdrop. Because a yogi is comfortable and comes to terms with any environment. So a yogi in Himalayas, a yogi in caves, a yogi in gardens, a yogi in oceans, a yogi in buildings, concrete jungle, and a yogi in a bookstore. So, please may I welcome my dearest brother Himanshu Mehta to just come out and reveal his demeanor.
That was an amazing introduction. I'm very good form.
Now, a true yogi is a true friend. A true yogi is a true son. A true yogi is a true father, employer, and everything that he does, his interrelationships and interpersonal skills is nothing but love, compassion, karuna, karya, kirti, karma, dharma. So yoga by default becomes his dharma. His wonderful mother is sitting there. And I think this brings to fore the whole relationship of Narendra Modi ji doing something and his mother blessing him from wherever she is. Yes. So a lovely thing. Come, welcome. Come, have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you, God.
Please don't mind, I've got certain questions crafted for you. There is nothing you can't answer. So the name of the book, we will unveil. So let me ask him first question, then we'll unveil the book. The name of the book is Making of the Yogi. So Making of the Yogi obviously started from his mother's womb and from the sanskars he got from the parents. And his journey till date, we will speak about it a little later. his purity of mind, his childlike innocence, and his philanthropic heart to just accommodate all and give reverence to all makes him a yogi of a very different kind. So very generous in his being. Okay, so Himanshu, literally, why did you write this book? What prompted you to write this book?
Of course, you are the one to inspire me, motivate me a lot. I would say I'm really fortunate to have a lovely brother, a great friend who is constantly inspiring me and motivated me for the book, because we met 2 years ago and we were discussing about spirituality and yoga, and then I told him how I wrote the thesis. So let me take it back. I was an Iyengar yoga student and we used to have camps every year, and we were given to read Yoga Sutra in the afternoon after having tough sessions for 12 hours or so. And I used to fall asleep reading just for one paragraph, and that became very challenging, right? So then in 2014, I joined Mumbai University course. Although I was pretty good at physical yoga, but this was very challenging. So that's when I started digging more and more deep and doing more and more research work in yoga. Then my brother, he saw this thesis and he read this thesis and he said, "Why? अभी जो है आपके अंदर बहुत कुछ है, सब बाहर निकालो. Okay, now it's the time to come out and write a book. You should write a book." So many times I gave up writing also, then he motivated. I mean, he was unstoppable to motivate me, and I would say the result of this book is only making matter. So that was great.
Okay, so since we've done with the first answer, which brings you to the introduction of his journey into this book, I would like to call upon stage my very good friend Jinal Patel. But what she does best, supports talents, promotes talents, and her passion is health and fitness. In her own group, she posts very good forwards and shares, and there are many health tips that she scribbles, writes herself. Accomplished in English language as well, her communication skills are very good, and me and Himanshu stand to gain a lot from this group, and thank you for bringing this book.
Yeah, actually the seeds for this book was sown by her, because इन्होंने ही जो है हम दो दोस्तों को, दो भाइयों को जो है दुनिया के मेले में हम लोग पिछड़े हुए थे बना दिया, बराबर है. Right, thank you.
Even there's lots to be spoken for Himanshu, but I would insist, from the time you've known him, speak a few lines in his appreciation, not that he needs any. But I want every soul to get inspired by Himanshu and what he is.
First of all, I congratulate Himanshu for his lovely book, Making of a Yogi. And what I have met Himanshu, I think he's taken a lot of Surya Namaskars and he does a lot of seva for the Dilbush, I think.
Dilbush, yeah.
So
the special children.
Yes, special children, and he also does a lot of good work. So I feel he's a good human being and doing a lot of yoga and spreading happiness amongst people. So all the best for your lovely book.
Thank you. Thank you.
And may you write more books like this and
Yes,
inspire
yes.
people.
Sure, sure. With both of you around me, then I have nothing else to do.
We have all good wishes for you.
Thank you, Jinal.
Thank you.
Yeah. Every soul who has really helped me for his book. So, first of all, of course, none other than my dear friend, Nikki Bhai. And then Zinal. Please, thank you so much. I would like to call the editor of the book, Anu Shetty. Please come. He has put in a really great efforts for the book. Please, yeah, thank you very much. Yeah. And yeah, I'd like to call upon my dear friend and business friend, Nautam Shah, his brother Jay Shah, and the young printer who has printed the book. Please.
भाई તમે ખાલી ચોપડી છાપો તો પૈસા બી છાપો છો ચોપડી લેતા છે તો પૈસા
Nautam bhai.
Thank you very much for doing this.
The book was in a very crucial state, and they again re-edited, and they did a lot of work on this book, and it really helped me to come out. Of course, yeah. No, please. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Kashyap. He's a young budding printer who does a wonderful job. He's done a good quality printing as you see the book. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. I would like to call upon Pratima. She has been a banker and taking good care of my bank account. But for the book, she has put in immense efforts because all the pictures and everything she has herself posted it in the book. And right from the beginning till the end, even for the marketing and all, she's been helping a lot. Thank you very much. She's an angel. Thank you. Yes. And yeah, Deepak. He's been helping us, and particularly the title cover, as you see, there's no body. It's only one body. But and many of the pictures he's been taking. He's very expert at video shooting and yeah. Thank you so much, Deepak. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Just video by your thing. Yeah. 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 Like to call upon Gagan. Gagan, and there is another gentleman with us, Alakmar. He's gone to Canada. They were both interns, and they've been taking care of my investment portfolio, but still they were very much involved, and now they have theoretically become yogis. They were so much involved on the book. Thank you so much, please. Yeah. So well, and he's been helping us for book marketing, promotion, even for this. He's been behind the curtain. So thank you so much, Arjun. We really appreciate you all your good efforts. Thank you so much.
Last 2.5 years, this is the maximum time we are spending today. Yes, but I've gone to his office a couple of times. He's treated me with toasted sandwiches and lassis. And I really enjoy that. I hope that happens again. Okay. So what is this book all about? What all have you poured in from your heart, from your mind, and from the experience of your soul? What has all gone into the making of this book?
Well, but generally, I've shattered a lot of misconception in this book, because most of us think yoga is all about asanas. Am I right? Asanas and pranayama. I mean, any of you know something beyond that? No? So, actually speaking, what happens is that if you go by Ashtanga Yoga, the Eightfold Path, so it starts with Yama Niyama. And we human beings are so जुगाड़ू या यमा नियमा को हटा दिया क्योंकि बहुत डिफिकल्ट है फॉलो करना एंड स्ट्रेट अवे आसन विच इज मोर आसान पकड़ लिया सो आई shattered that myth and I've delved into yama and niyama because if you practice yama and niyama then all asana becomes asan. When we say yoga, we say a healthy life, right? Anybody here suffering from backache or sleep disorders or diabetes, asthma? Anyone here? Okay. How many of you wearing specs? So I've written about Chakshu Yoga. So if you want to get rid of the specs, I have written about the Chakshu Yoga, as well as I've given a QR code where you can watch the video while reading and you get a good techniques about Chakshu Yoga, and you can get rid of the glasses. I have personally got rid of the glasses. I don't wear glasses. Doctor had told me last year that you have a 3.25 number, and I practiced Chakshu Yoga and I could get rid of it. I really hate glasses. For me, I feel that glasses, I mean the industry, lens card or whatever we say, is more like a scam. Because, I mean, once you start wearing glasses, you get addicted. So anything you can get addicted, it's more to do with the scam, really speaking. Yeah, and that number keeps on increasing. It never remains stable. So my book gives you, I mean, it takes you from the journey from physical to physiological, psychological, and spiritual level. And it is a micro encyclopedia of yoga, covering 360 degrees bird's eye view. Talking about Surya Namaskar, like, you know that we have a group, 108 Surya Namaskar group in Juhu, and we have more than 200 members. So Surya Namaskar, I started 9 years ago, and we started 108 Surya Namaskar first. And then, I mean, so we used to do on Surya Namaskar on mantra, music. And then I devised blindfold Surya Namaskar, which is rarely done. So the blindfold Surya Namaskar takes a focus within, and then I devised chair Surya Namaskar for my mother and elderly people, or even the heavily bodied people. Then 4 years ago, I devised Surya Namaskar, the slowest form of Surya Namaskar, which is globally first of its kind. And I would like to show a demo. Yeah, great. Anyone can scan for 2 minutes. See, this asana has a lot of significance. You know, माँ गंगा जो है वो धरती पे आई इसी आसन की वजह से. भगीरथ जी ने जो है वर्षों तक इस तपस्या की ये आसन में. Lovely.
So here my intrigue point is that probably everybody wants to know about Patanjali honey, Patanjali Dantakanti, but I'm going to ask Himanshu ji to tell me more about Patanjali Sutras and also one or two of his favorite sutras.
So let me ask if anybody knows Patanjali, who Patanjali was. Anyone? Rishi, right? But more than that, I mean, who he was?
He's the one who came up with yoga.
Exactly. You edited my book. No, but that's true, yeah. So, Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali, he was on this planet 3,500 years ago. And he was incarnation of thousand-headed serpent Adishesha, the abode of Vishnu. And three pillars, he is well known for three remarkable pillars, what he gifted to humans for fruition of human race. The first one is for the physical, that is Ayurveda. The second one is grammar, that is for social benefit for the humans, Sanskrit grammar. And the third one is Yoga Sutra, 195 or some say 196 sutras. And that sutras has so much in-depth knowledge that it has solutions for any problems of the world, any problems. And it lies buried, really speaking. I mean, people have ignored it. As we find right now, hardly few of them know who Patanjali was. And that is one of the reasons for me to write the book. Because we take our heritage for granted. Okay. और अगर हमने अपना योगा अपने सीने से नहीं लगाया तो ये खजाना भी कभी कोहिनूर की तरह गवा देंगे. So, speaking of Patanjali Sutra, this sutras has a really magical power. It can elevate humans from animalhood to manhood, manhood to godhood. Pashu se Pashupati. Right? So one of my favorite sutra is Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. Heyam Dukkham Anagatam. The suffering of pain that is yet to come can be avoided. So I follow that, and that gives me a lot of introspection to analyze any problem. So before the problem arises, I have the solution on hand.
That's very nice, Himanshu. I think, Himanshu, you have transcended the boundaries of just physicality of yoga. As you said in your own words, asanas are so easy to do, literally. Of course, mastering them is a difficult task, but it's the easiest route, hatha. Once you go beyond asanas, then comes prana. So, can you throw some light on the relationship between asanas and prana?
See, as you saw right now, Surya Namaskar, the normal breathing pattern, what we say, the human beings, they take 12 to 16 breaths a minute. So this slowest form of Surya Namaskar, what I devised, we encompass the aspects of pranayama. So the breathing happens only, you take only 1 or 2 breaths a minute. So you slow down from 16 breaths to 1 or 2 breaths a minute. So that really increases your lifespan. Now compare the rabbit and the tortoise. You know how many years the rabbit lives? What is the lifespan of rabbit? 10 to 15 years. And tortoise? 200, 300 years. Why so? Rabbit is all the time gasping for air, breathing so fast. And tortoise, it takes maybe 1 breath for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And that's the reason that yogis live longer, yogis look younger. Speaking of pranayama, there are actually 95 types of pranayama practice. So I have devised a special form of Bhastrika, which is there in my book, and it has a QR code. It's the 3 most powerful variants of Bhastrikas. And it can really, even if you have not slept for the whole night, it can put you back to power with the help of these 3 Bhastrikas.
This is really, really amazing. What is most important is that connecting yoga with success. Okay? Yoga, what is visible is actually not. But the invisible process and mechanics of yoga is what actually brings about determination, focus, illumination of mind, stillness of the mind, clarity, vision, creativity, productivity. So what is that aspect of yoga?
So as we say, subtle power. Yoga, it enhances your intuition, the subtle power. We know very well now, software is more powerful than the hardware. You're talking of AI, right? AI is very, very powerful. So yoga can bring in a lot of power into you. You can say, when we say yogis, they can read your mind. It's only their intuition power, and they are totally aware about things. So more and more you practice, the more and more awareness increases. The alertness increases.
Yes, so generally people use this word Ashtanga Yoga so loosely,
Exactly.
without even realizing that Ashtanga Yoga means the 8 facets of yoga which completes the human circle, human consciousness, and it is all encompassing. Very, very colloquially or popularly, people say I do Ashtanga Yoga, which means what? I do dynamic yoga intensive.
Exactly.
That is not Ashtanga Yoga. I would, request you, Himanshu, to please enlighten and illuminate the minds of our audience that
Yeah.
the 8 limbs of yoga and what is that path, the way of life.
Exactly. So, like Patanjali, Swami Ramdev, he adopted his name Patanjali and branded it. So Ashtanga Yoga, the physical form of yoga, that was branded by Patavi Joyce. So that is one of the powerful form of yoga. There were 2 yoga forms which were very popular. One is Iyengar Yoga and the other one is Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga Yoga is totally physical form. Now we talk of eightfold path. Anybody aware of eightfold path here? Please. Yam. Niyam. And Samadhi means Samadhan. Yeah. So, again the Yam, there are 5 forms of Yam. Niyam is a personal code. So, if this is followed, Yam and Niyam is followed, then there will be no crime, no wars, no kind of evils on this planet. And that is the reason Maharishi Patanjali gave this Yoga Sutra, so humans can follow and there wouldn't be any war and we can create a life on earth, we can create a paradise on earth.
Yoga as we see and the experience of yoga of a yogi is very different. I would like to know, Himanshu, that can you name a couple of experiences in your 42 years of practice of yoga? That which were those turning points where you felt that switches were coming on, illumination was happening, life was taking jumps, and suddenly you were entering into dimensions. And I'm certain that only such dimensions must have urged you, appealed you to write this book. So just name one such experience.
Frankly speaking, my yoga really began after I understood Yoga Sutras. And it was not like easy understanding, not like reading. It's like reading it again and again and again and again. So even when I was writing this book, I was trying to understand Yama and Niyam in depth. So more I tried to understand, the more and more I felt detached from the worldly affairs. So that detachment, as we say, abhyasa and vairagya. So I was getting more into vairagya mode. So then the abhyasa improved a lot. I mean, when we were small kids, our parents used to say, get up early in the morning, wake up at 4 o'clock and study. You will remember, you will study better. So that's the Brahma Muhurat that works. So even for my book, I used to wake up at 4 o'clock and 4 to 6 I used to write the book. And I was getting lost and absorbed. I was like, sometimes I was amazed and I'm feeling shocked that, this depth, the kind of science what we have, yoga science, is so much of depth. It is like endless.
From whatever you're saying, and the social code and the code for the self-discipline and social discipline, thousands of years back, it is still relevant. That's the beauty of it. Now with the relevance of that Yama Niyama, I mean, I know for sure, but I want you to please convince the people that the path of yoga can help bring about cessation of crime, social injustice, aggression, violence, pride, anger, lust, envy, gluttony, avarice, sloth. Just explain in brief that how yoga can help one human being transform, reform, and this world can become a peaceful place to stay.
Yes, certainly. I mean, all the habits what we see, I would say human race is suffering from two dangerous disease. Two dangerous disease. Can you think of it? And it is really bringing human race down, going down to the dogs. You know it, of course. Yeah, okay. Ego and greed. Everything is about ego and greed. Now imagine Putin and Zelensky, they were practicing yoga. You think they would have a war? हाँ बोलते हैं चल भाई यार योगा कर लेते कहाँ वॉर लड़ाई करेंगे right? So now you find everywhere written as Vasudev Kutumbakam. So you know what it means? The world is one family, right? So we have anybody living in joint family? So right, there's an immense understanding, immense tolerance, right? You don't have violence in your family. You just tolerate each other, accommodate each other. So same thing, same principle can apply within the society, within the neighborhood, within the countries. So that's how the world can become a peaceful place if we just follow Yam and Niyam. So
you know that very well said about Putin and Zelensky, that if they would be practicing yogis, living yogis, they would never go to war, they would do yogas together.
they would be sitting like us.
So, I mean, there is something more I'd like to add to it. That for people who sleep close to Brahma Muhurat, go to war, and for people who wake up close to Brahma Muhurat, create peace and harmony.
Exactly. There's selflessness and selfishness. So when selfishness dissipates, selflessness prevails.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, you know what, it's time now that we should request Himanshu Bhai, of his 42 years of practice of yoga, just simply some one thing. I want you to inspire them that at an age of 60 plus, which is 62,
64.
64. मेरा भी बाप है. So I always say that my source of inspiration in yoga is Himanshu Bhai. Himanshu ji, एक आसन तो बनता है.
Okay.
निकला था वो धूमधाम से खुशियां खोज के लाने गूगल में होती हुई बैठूंगा मारूंगा ढूंढ लिए पैमाने चुटकी भर हासिल हुई टूट गया वो मस्त कलंदर खुशियां खोज न पाया हौसला भी हार हो गया ढूंढ लिया फिर बैठ गया वो बक ना दोहराया मिल गया जो बाहर ना मिला योगा से ही होगा योगा से ही होगा योगा से.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the point where I would request you to ask questions if you have any.
First of all, this is something miraculous at the age of 64. Now, y'all know their age, and I would certainly like to change this anecdote of senior citizens. This is how the senior citizens should be. So a huge round of applause. Like when someone calls a senior citizen an image of person with a stake, not able to walk, and all the diseases, and that what comes to our mind, right? So I feel we should change that whole perception of what a senior citizen should be, and I guess this is a living example of Mickey Mehta sir and Himanshu sir. And my question is, say when we, sir, when we say yam and niyam, so first we are talking about society and then of ourselves. So why this? What I feel is, why not first the changes within us and then towards the society? Yeah.
Actually, yam and niyam actually goes together. So when we say society, that is for the society, how your behavior is towards the society. When we say yam, is ahimsa, satya, asteya, aparigraha, brahmacharya. Okay. So when we say ahimsa, so don't go into the society as you see communal riots and all that. So don't do that kind of a rioting. That is what it means. Or aparigraha or asteya, as we say. Don't become greedy. So if you give up your greed, then many venues open up. I have personally experienced many venues they open up. And you are always contented. Santosha hai. So again, when we say niyama, so it's saucha, santosha, tapa, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. So it all settles down that once you are in that mold, then everything becomes very clear to you. Once everything is clear in your mind, it's like, it's like right and left. You know which is your right hand, which is your left hand. It's not written anywhere. Every one of us know. So we practice it. So that's how it becomes so easy for you.
So you practice Iyengar yoga.
Yes.
And then what made you take up Malkam? How you got interested? We want to know the whole story.
तो एक मेरे अंदर एक कीड़ा छुपा हुआ है, कुछ ना कुछ नया करने का. So once evening I was getting bored and I seen that Malkam because then I wanted to practice anything that aligns with yoga. So on the Malkam pole, all the asanas, all the elements what we do, they are all yoga elements. So if you see on the pole, I've been doing also the Paschimottanasana, lying ulta. So that's how it is, and it is power. That's one thing. So whatever gives power, you always run after power. So it gives power, it gives flexibility. So basic fundamentals of fitness is what? Strength, flexibility, more strength. So it gives everything of that. So that is what made me go for Malkam.
जो सवाल मुझे पूछना है शायद वो सबको होगा, स्पेशली टू फीमेल. आपके एंटी एजिंग का राज क्या है?
दोनों का है.
दोनों का. दोनों से जवाब.
रास्ते में हवा खाते हैं.
Lifestyle, basically your lifestyle issue. More you discipline yourself, more better things become for you. Your health, wealth, happiness, everything falls in place. So, speaking of aging, okay, one thing is for sure that my book is meant, I want people to score at least century. कम से कम सेंचुरी बैट्समैन हर एक को बनना ही चाहिए, उतना टारगेट ही रखिए. एंड अगेन वी से देयर आर two living hells on this planet. Two living hells on this planet. That is hospital and the judiciary or police or whatever you say, right? And we can safeguard ourselves only by practicing yoga, all the niyamas of yoga. That's how we can safeguard. Hospitals, we know during COVID times how much people have suffered, and many people have even spoken to me that हम कर लेते योगा तो शायद हमको हॉस्पिटल जाने की नौबत नहीं आती. And fortunately, in our group of Surya Namaskar, touch wood, nobody had a COVID, and everybody was happy, healthy, because they were getting immense amount of vitamin D. Doing practicing in the sun, in front of the sun.
I could only say one thing. that internalizing of all your experiences is what yoga enhances, and yoga brings to fore. Rather, it magnifies. You know, it is said that when a cricketer, batsman, is playing after 2 centuries, in particular, the small ball looks like a basketball. His focus, concentration, his vision becomes so clear. So, yoga amplifies, magnifies your experiences, and elevates your state of being and takes you there which others can't ordinarily. Okay, so now I throw the floor open for people to buy books and come and take signed copies from Himanshu.